travels in a little blue box.
11Alive News at noon starts now.
A teen rescued from a burning car after a head-on crash. A police officer and a passerby jumped into action to save her before it was too late. Vaccinations coming for thousands of Atlanta public school teachers, but not until later this month. And it has led to a back and forth between the district and the governor. A Republican-backed bill to end no-excuse absentee voting moves forward under the Gold Dome. Democrats and voting rights activists are pushing back. An 18-year-old girl is in the hospital with a broken back after police say another driver hit her car head-on, causing it to burst into flames. An officer pulled her to safety with the help of bystanders. Tracy A. McPeer joins us live from Floyd County Police Department after just speaking with that officer. Tracy, had to be a lot of bravery.
There was, and PFC Blake Puckett says when he pulled up on the scene on Saturday night, he didn't have time to think of anything except getting the trapped girl out alive. Now, this is dash cam video showing the aftermath of that wreck, a Ford F-150 on fire with 18-year-old Laurel Putnam trapped inside. 3 other teens in the truck were able to get out on their own. But Puckett says he and a bystander had to use a knife to cut Putnam's seatbelt and pull her out from the back seat.
It was definitely intense. There's not been many other scenes that were on that level of, I guess, for lack of a better term, chaos. Because, you know, we pull up, the entire northbound lanes of a major 4-lane highway are shut down. One vehicle's on fire, one driver and another's trapped. We got 3 people laying on the ground that have gotten themselves out and away from it.
Floyd County Police say the driver who hit the truck was going the wrong way down Highway 53. Police say they expect him to be charged with DUI and reckless driving. And we just learned from police that a teen boy driving the F-150 is also suspected of DUI, and he could face charges too. Now, as for the 18-year-old girl, she is still in the ICU, but the officer we spoke with says that her family has already reached out to him to thank him for saving her that night.
Wow, I mean, at that point, you're running on adrenaline, just jumping into action. Thank you, Tracy. Some DeKalb County students returned to the classroom today for the first time since the pandemic started, and they are coming back in phases by grade level. DeKalb County schools tweeting out these photos with the caption, "This week's return to the classroom is bringing smiles underneath the masks and happiness to our students." Yeah, they look pretty happy to me. Pre-K through 6th or 2nd grade, 6th grade and 9th grade students are back today. Grades 3 through 5 and 10 through 12 will begin on Monday. From July through last Thursday, the school district says it's had about 600 reported staff cases of COVID-19 and 203 reported student cases. We are still waiting to hear back from the district on a vaccination timeline, but right now we know school officials are working with the County Board of Health and 31 school nurses to administer vaccines at clinics. Turning now to Atlanta Public Schools, Governor Kemp and the state's 6th largest school district are at odds over how the timeline of teachers and staff vaccinations is playing out. The governor with some sharp criticism. While some teachers were shouting it from the rooftops,
I was going around school saying it's vaccination day.
Teachers with Atlanta Public Schools are still waiting. Even though eligibility for teachers to get the vaccine opened up Monday, they'll have to wait another few weeks to get the shot through the district. This after the APS Board of Education pleaded with Governor Kemp to allow teachers to get the shot. That was a month ago. And now that their time has come, Governor Kemp called the district out.
They knew dang well I couldn't do that. We didn't have the supply to do that. I had said that. It was pandemic politics at its best. And now they're going to wait 2 or 3 weeks. I believe that they're doing a disservice to their teachers.
APS fired back, calling the governor's comments unfortunate. In a statement, the district says it's been working with Fulton County to get enough doses to guarantee appointments for the 7,000 educators who want it. They said Fulton County should be getting a large shipment on March 22nd, so they're planning a mass vaccination event for the 24th, 26th, and 27th, the first day they say the vaccine is available to them in Fulton County. They are working with Mercedes-Benz Stadium for that mass vaccination event, but instead of waiting, some APS teachers are taking matters into their own hands to get the shot. We are keeping track of vaccination plans for each Metro Atlanta school district, and we have a guide that you can use as well. Just search for this headline up on 11alive.com. People who are fully vaccinated can now safely visit family in town without wearing a mask. That's part of the new guidance from the CDC. Tracy Potts has more, plus the latest on a coronavirus relief vote that could be happening today.
The CDC says masks should still be worn in public, but if you're fully vaccinated, it's okay to visit family from one household in town without a mask or social distancing 2 weeks after the final shot.
If grandparents have been vaccinated, they can visit their daughter and her family, even if they have not been vaccinated, so long as the daughter and her family are not at risk for severe disease.
Americans ready to come out of hiding.
Go to the beach.
Go out, visit family. I'm looking forward to visiting my grandkids.
Travel is still discouraged. Health experts are concerned with spring break just around the corner. Florida is already seeing crowds.
I see so many freaking people, and honestly, everyone's like almost piled up on top of each other.
Texas lifts its mask mandate tomorrow.
That this doesn't come back to create an influx of cases and super spreader virus.
In Washington, the House of Representatives could take a final vote on coronavirus relief today or tomorrow morning. So far, with no Republicans supporting the nearly $2 trillion plan.
As soon as I get it.
President Biden watching veterans get their shots. He'll address the nation Thursday night to mark the first anniversary of America on lockdown.
If the relief bill is approved, the White House spokesperson says families could see those $1,400 payments by the end of the month. Chesley.
All right, thanks a lot, Christy. We are looking at a decent day, a decent afternoon. It's not bad. We got a few high, thin clouds out there. You can see how it's nice and milky over Truist Park. This is what's going to be the case for the rest of the afternoon. So you'll see a mix of sun and clouds, but no rain coming out of those clouds. We're not anticipating any rain at all. Got that low level moisture coming back in, especially with that southerly flow, helping to boost the temperatures up as well. Got temperatures in the 60s right now. Thinking we'll get up to near 70 for an afternoon high. You can see more of those clouds back off to the west, and very little, if any, rain associated with it. In fact, you got to go way back here to the west just to find a few drops coming down over toward parts of Arkansas. Other than that, we'll be fine this afternoon. Really heating up. Look at this, 66 degrees right now in the city. At 66 also in Marietta, 67 degrees over toward Rome, 68 in Athens. That is the warm spot this afternoon, but I think we'll all get up to near or around 70 for a high. Back down to 62 degrees by 7 o'clock with partly cloudy skies as the clouds move back out. More on your very warm forecast coming up.
Some high-profile bills have survived their make-or-break moment under the Gold Dome. The vast majority of measures introduced during the Georgia legislative session die on what's called Crossover Day. One of the most notable bills making it through Crossover Day is Senate Bill 241, which would end no-excuse absentee voting. So voters requesting absentee ballots, they would have to provide a valid reason for getting it. Democrats largely protested the bill, but the Republican majority passed it in the name of election security. In addition to election bills, both the House and Senate passed bills increasing the penalties for drag racing. The House passed a bill requiring hospitals and nursing homes to allow some patient visitors, even in the event of a pandemic. And the House also passed a bill to overhaul Georgia's citizens arrest law, a bill prompted by the killing of Ahmaud Arbery a year ago. Bills that made it through one chamber must make it through the other. Starting today, the House starts voting on Senate-passed bills and vice versa until lawmakers adjourn at the end of the month. All right, let's take a closer look at the efforts to overhaul Georgia's citizens arrest statute. The House voted unanimously for the measure that would generally bar any bystanders and witnesses from making arrests. And this comes more than a year after Ahmaud Arbery was chased down by a group of white men in a South Georgia neighborhood and killed. Two of the men now charged with murder say they were trying to make a citizen's arrest, suspecting Arbery of a burglary. Prosecutors say Arbery didn't steal anything. He was just out for a jog.
Anybody would have had to have shown empathy for that young man. And then right on the toes of George Floyd, it was just a defining moment. But Ahmaud Arbery has changed in many ways this state.
We have a deep dive into all of the bills that survived Crossover Day. You can read more about what they are and how they impact you. Just look for our story on 11alive.com. Jury selection is expected to begin today for the former Minneapolis police officer accused of murder in the death of George Floyd. The process was delayed because there is a potential third-degree murder charge that's making its way through the higher courts. Right now, Chauvin is charged with second-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. In court filings, his attorney has argued the former officer used reasonable force against Floyd. New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Stonecrest is lending a helping hand to two communities still reeling from the winter storm last month. The church preparing to send its second shipment of supplies to Texas and its first shipment of bottled water and household supplies to Mississippi. Parts of Jackson, Mississippi have been without running water for weeks, and thousands are still under a boil water advisory. Today, the church was able to send $120,000 worth of supplies to those in need.
Water, that's what both Texas and Mississippi said that they needed, was water. We're sending also refrigerators, also diapers, as well as power aid. But the overwhelming cry from both states has been that they needed water.
New Birth is partnering with several churches in both states to help distribute the supplies to the communities most in need. Jumping the line for the COVID-19 vaccine next. How are health departments checking someone's vaccine eligibility?
Cases by county using our interactive map, and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up.
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush.
The race to get more Georgians vaccinated is in overdrive as the state continues to expand eligibility. Now there are accusations of people snagging appointments even though they are not eligible. Naima Abdullahi found from the state and county's perspectives, it mostly comes down to trust.
Starting today, adults with disabilities and their caregivers, along with educators and parents of children with serious medical conditions can all get the vaccine. But millions of other Georgians are still waiting for their turn.
I've spent over 3,000 days in the hospital. Post-COVID, it's more stressful and more strenuous because you're alone, you're isolated.
Tahir Ali is looking forward to getting the vaccine due to his high-risk health condition, sickle cell disease. He says the most vulnerable groups should be prioritized right now.
Our elder and pre-existing condition community has to be a little bit more recognized in this time.
Despite the criteria laid out by the state, there are still some people who are not eligible who found ways to get access to the vaccine, which leads to the question, is there any way health departments can regulate and verify people are eligible for giving them a shot? We asked the Georgia Department of Public Health, and we're told it's hard to play vaccine police and still vaccinate thousands of people who show up for vaccination, and that, quote, providers must depend on the honesty and integrity of people. While screening measures may vary from county to county, we reached out to the individual counties on how they're verifying. The Gwinnett, Newton, and Rockdale Health Department says it asks questions at intake to verify eligibility. It doesn't intentionally vaccinate anyone who is ineligible at this time. Cobb and Douglas Health Department says clients are asked to answer questions about eligibility when they request appointments, and each person is screened. While there are people who don't plan on getting vaccinated anytime soon,
if I had to take it today, I would say no.
For some families, it can be life-changing and a sigh of relief.
And for my son, it's going to be a big relief. Being prioritized, that's a godsend.
As eligibility continues to expand in the state of Georgia, Governor Brian Kemp says the goal is to give access to every Georgian, with mass vaccination sites helping to meet that demand.
We have compiled all the details on the COVID-19 vaccine, including where you can get one, appointments, and much more. Just text the word vaccines to 404-885-7600, and we will send a link straight to your phone.
Well, it's going to be a decent day for us this afternoon, nice and warm, warmer than our average for this time of year, and we got that milky sky out there, but not going to take away too much from your sunshine. You can still get out there on the soccer court, is that what you call it? Soccer field, and kick the ball around a little bit. I can't play. Christy's better than me. I just shoot hoops. We're looking at temperatures getting up close to 70 degrees for this afternoon with a nice little southerly breeze at about 5-6 miles per hour. That'll be it. You can already start to see some of those clouds over northern parts of Alabama. They'll make their way over toward us. There's no rain or anything coming out of these clouds at all, so we're not worried about that. We have pretty much fair skies right now, again with the high thin clouds moving in first, and then the thicker clouds will move in behind that. I think by 2 o'clock you'll start to see partly to mostly cloudy skies, and that will stay that way for the rest of the afternoon. Once we get toward the evening, a lot of those clouds will have moved to the east of us, and we'll clear it out once again through the overnight and do it all over again tomorrow. Start off with the sun, and then by the afternoon more clouds will move in. Temperatures in the upper 60s in a lot of spots here. You got 66 in Edenton, 68 in Athens, that's a warm spot this afternoon. 67 degrees over toward Rome, 66 in Marietta and also Atlanta, down through Peachtree City, 65 over toward LaGrange. Low 60s up here to the north where we started out in the 20s this morning, but rebounding nicely this afternoon. Going to give it a 10 out of a possible 11. If we didn't have the clouds mixing in at times really through this week, we'd probably have a week of 11s. That's how nice it's going to be. Low humidity around. Watching the pollen levels though. I want to see if those begin to creep up. Today it's a low count, down to 69. That's still medium. Anything over 90 is considered high, and I know we're accustomed to those spring-like pollen levels up in the 1,000 count, right? We'll get there. We got time for that. Let's just enjoy where we are right now. You notice a few clouds back off to the west, very little rainfall associated with it. And again, we're not expecting any rainfall here today. In fact, our best chance for rain won't come until next week. We got time. Here's the high pressure that has been dominating our skies the last couple of days. It is now moving over toward the east of us, and so we're in a southerly flow. That's going to help to boost up those temperatures and also help to bring in that low-level moisture. Here we are. Forecast track model shows by 8 o'clock tonight, a lot of the clouds shifting to the east of us. We'll have just a few around. Through the overnight, we clear it out. That means the temperatures, especially in the outlying areas, will dip down into the 30s once again. We'll see more clouds fill right back in once we get toward mid-morning into early afternoon. High, thin clouds will be the main clouds, but we may see a few that pass through the area that take away the sun briefly. We'll do it again as we head into Thursday morning. Start you off with mostly sunny skies. By the afternoon, a few more clouds mixing in, and temperatures will creep up each day that we go. Here it is, our 7-day outlook. Let me recap it for you. Today, near 70. 71 degrees will be the high temperature on Wednesday. By the time we hit Thursday, we're looking at 73 degrees. Still my pick for the week, even though we'll have partly sunny skies during the afternoon. 76 degrees for the high temperature on Friday. That's getting on up there. A good 10 degrees more than where we should be for this time of year. 78 degrees will be a high temperature on Saturday. Don't forget, spring forward, although your clocks do it automatically for you, right? 20% chance for the rain on Sunday. That's a very low chance. I think we'll just have partly sunny skies during the afternoon. Better chance for that rain as we start the work week next week. Looking at a 40% chance, and temperatures by then back down into the 60s, a bit closer to where we should be for this time of year. Christy, back over to you.
That's a great looking forecast. Thank you, Chesley. Buckingham Palace is under mounting pressure to respond following the now famous interview given by Prince Harry and his wife Meghan. During the conversation with Oprah Winfrey, there were allegations of racism within the palace and suggestions of a lack of support from the royal family over mental health issues and media intrusion. NBC's Keir Simmons reports from London.
Harry and a pregnant Meghan looking serene, cradling their son Archie in a new Instagram picture this morning from their photographer. But their interview, seen around the world, anything but serene, setting off a royal firestorm. Allegations that may do lasting damage, historians say.
The allegations have been made and can't be defended against because we don't know who they're actually made against.
Potentially weakening faith in the British royal family.
It's just a bit of a shame, really, for me personally, watching it, having been born in the Commonwealth, that there's that level of anti-blackness. I think that will upset a lot of Black British people, and it will upset a lot of people in the Commonwealth.
Meghan's estranged father on British television this morning.
I don't think the British royal family are racist at all.
Harry and Meghan's description of feeling trapped, attacked by the press, while Meghan considered taking her own life, prompting international reaction.
The best thing I can say is that I've always had the highest admiration for the Queen.
For anyone to come forward and speak about their own struggles with mental health and tell their own personal story, that takes courage.
This morning, Prince Charles visiting a vaccination centre, while the clamour for the family to address the couple's claims is only growing.
Now, it's no secret Tyler Perry will give you the shirt off his back, but we saw another example this week of his generous side. In Sunday's interview with Meghan and Harry, we learned Perry loaned them his home. The Atlanta media mogul offered the royal couple his Southern California home for a few months with security. See, when they moved to the States after giving up their royal duties, they lost security and protection. And since Sunday's interview, many people have been buzzing on social media about Perry's kind act. That's just so Tyler Perry of him. All right, it's 12:22 right now. A viral claim says getting the vaccine will make you test positive for COVID-19. We verify next.
Weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11Alive storm trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. For storm trackers, only on 11Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
And the fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
We promise to take those viral claims online and separate fact from fiction. Today, our team is focusing on a claim many of you have contacted us about. Will getting the COVID vaccine make you test positive for coronavirus? Evan Kozlov looked into it.
Verify exists to fact check the things you read and see online. And we've seen a lot of posts like these popping up. People asking if they're lucky enough to get the COVID-19 vaccine, will it cause them to test positive on a COVID-19 test? What about an antibody test? Let's verify. Here are sources. An epidemiology expert, Dr. Michael Minna from Harvard University. An infectious diseases expert, Dr. Siham Majoub from Howard University. And the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Dr. Majoub says that the vaccine triggers your body to create an immune response and develop antibodies. However,
it does not mean that the vaccine
vaccine is going to give you the actual virus in your nose, because the vaccine does not contain the actual virus.
Just like the CDC, our other expert also says that this is false.
And there's really no reason for the protein mRNA to make its way up into the nose where we're sampling.
So this is verified as false. The vaccines will not make you test positive for a viral test. But Dr. Majoub says that she has seen this situation. People unknowingly sick testing positive after getting vaccinated. But that's not caused by the vaccine itself. That just means they had COVID-19 before they got the jab. Okay, what about the antibody test? Could the vaccine cause you to test positive for that? The CDC says that the answer is yes, it's possible. Minna explains that it depends on what specific protein the antibody test you get is looking for.
Antibody tests very well will turn positive after somebody gets a vaccine if they're looking for antibodies against the spike protein or any of the other subunits and proteins that are in the vaccine. But they will not turn positive if it's an antibody looking for nucleocapsid, which a lot of them are.
If you have something you want us to verify, let us know on Facebook, Twitter, or by email at verify@11alive.com. It's 12:25 on your Tuesday. We'll be right back.
An improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11Alive storm trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. For storm trackers, only on 11Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
And the fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush.
The CDC's new guidance about vaccinated Americans avoiding travel isn't flying with the airline industry. Some leaders say they disagree. Airlines for America, a trade group, pushed back, arguing air travel poses a low risk because of filtered air and masks. Still, health experts are concerned that more travel will lead to more cases. A source with the airline industry says the CDC should publicly release the criteria used to make adjustments to the guidelines. Travel is already picking up, though. The TSA says nearly 1.3 million people passed through checkpoints on Sunday. That's the highest travel day since January 3rd. Thanks so much for watching 11Alive News at noon. I'm Christy Diaz. Have a great Tuesday. Stay safe.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11.